Have you been waking at 3 a.m. with a restlessness you can't explain? Chosen one, stop scrolling. This video found you, not by accident, but by divine appointment. In the next 15 minutes, you'll discover the 3 unmistakable signs that heaven has already begun releasing your provision, even if your bank account doesn't show it yet. Right now, you're carrying weight no one sees. The pressure, the uncertainty, the silent question, how much longer? But here's the truth that will change everything. Your breakthrough didn't just start today. It started the moment you clicked this video. Type, "I receive," below. That's your act of faith. Subscribe, because heaven isn't finished speaking to you yet. Let me show you what's already in motion. 3 hidden signs. Your provision season has already started that you're probably missing. Here's what nobody tells you about divine provision, and I need you to hear this with your whole spirit. Twist. Provision doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your spirit. It begins internally before it ever shows up externally. Most people miss their provision season entirely because they're watching their bank account, checking their phone for job offers, waiting for some dramatic external shift. But heaven doesn't work that way. Let me show you the 3 real signs that your provision season has already begun. Sign number 1. The discomfort of outgrowing your current reality. Marcus, a 45-year-old teacher from Atlanta, messaged me after 18 years in the same classroom. Suddenly, everything feels suffocating, like I'm wearing clothes 3 sizes too small. Am I ungrateful? I told him, "Marcus, you're not ungrateful. You're being expanded." When heaven releases provision, the first thing that happens is internal expansion. Your spirit outgrows your current reality, and that expansion feels like pressure, what I call the sacred squeeze. You'll notice 3 things. First, old conversations feel empty. That weekly coffee meetup, those lunch break chats, suddenly hollow. You're not becoming judgmental. You're outgrowing. Jesus said in Mark 2:22, "No one puts new wine into old wineskins. You are the new wine." Your spirit is expanding, and old wineskins can't contain it anymore. Second, your tolerance for dysfunction drops to 0. Jobs you tolerated for years suddenly feel unbearable. Relationships you managed suddenly drain you instantly. That's not you being too sensitive. That's heaven raising your standards. If you were still comfortable in dysfunction, you'd never leave. Third, you feel homesick for a place you've never been. Lisa, a 58-year-old retired nurse from Oregon, described it perfectly. "I feel nostalgic for a future I haven't lived yet." That's not depression. That's prophetic longing. Your spirit remembers what heaven already prepared. Jeremiah 29:11. Marcus's outcome? He started tutoring online on weekends. First month, $300. Third month, $4,200. Month 8, he quit teaching. Today, $180,000 a year running a virtual academy. He told me that suffocation wasn't punishment. It was an eviction notice from heaven. Sign number 2, strategic losses that look like setbacks. Let me tell you about Jennifer, 47-year-old marketing director in Chicago. Laid off after 15 years. Daughter in college. Mortgage, $847 in savings. She asked me, "I prayed for provision. Instead, I lost my provision. Where is God?" Here's the truth. Heaven doesn't just ADD to your life. Sometimes it subtracts to multiply. 3 types of strategic losses happen before breakthrough. Type 1, relationship exits. Jennifer lost 3 friends after her layoff. They vanished when she couldn't do girls' trips. 1 year later, she said, "They didn't leave because I had no money. They left because they never knew the real me. I was always performing." Type 2, financial pressure. Robert, 59, from Denver, His consulting business dropped 60% over 8 months, terrified. But the clients who left were the ones draining his energy. The 40% who stayed referred him to better contracts. Month 10, making 30% more with 50% less stress. Biblical principle. Gideon's army went from 32,000 to 300. Judges 7. Smaller army, bigger victory. Type 3. Door closings. Jennifer applied to 47 jobs in 4 months. 42 rejections, 5 no responses. Devastated. Then her former colleague called. I'm starting an agency. Can only pay you 60% of your old salary to start. Jennifer said yes, out of desperation. 18 months later, partner with equity. Income, $240,000 annually. Every door that closed wasn't a no. It was a not that one. The contrast, worldly loss, results in bitterness, blame, desperation. Divine subtraction results in clarity, character, capacity for more. A closed door guarded by God is safer than an open door without His presence. Sign number 3, unexpected peace in the storm. This is the sign nobody talks about, and it's the most powerful one. Meet Thomas, 63, retired military, Phoenix. 3 months ago, his wife was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. Medical bills, $8,400 monthly out of pocket. Thomas told me, I should be panicking. My savings are draining. We might lose the house. But here's the weird part. I wake up every morning with this strange peace, like someone's whispering, I've got this. Am I in denial? I told him, Thomas, that's the signature of divine provision. Peace that makes no natural sense. Philippians 4:7 calls it peace that surpasses understanding. The Greek word means stands guard over. Your peace is literally a soldier protecting your mind from fear. 3 characteristics of supernatural peace. First, it defies your circumstances. You check your bank balance, 230 SAR until payday. But instead of panic, there's this, knowing. Second, it comes with unusual clarity. Angela, 54, single mom from Atlanta, lost her job in February. She told me, I keep feeling this pull to just wait, not in laziness, in obedience. She waited 6 weeks. Then her neighbor mentioned her sister's company needed someone. Remote work, 30% higher pay, better benefits. Angela said, if I had panicked and taken the first offer, I would have missed this one. Third, it makes you generous in lack. Thomas saw a homeless vet at the grocery store, had $40 cash, his gas money for the week. He gave him $20. 3 days later, Thomas got a letter. Class action settlement from his old employer, $11th $400 check. He had forgotten he was even part of the lawsuit. Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. Comparison. Worldly peace. Depends on circumstances. Evaporates under pressure. Makes you hoard. Divine peace. Defies circumstances. Strengthens under pressure. Makes you generous. Thomas's update 2 months later. His wife's cancer went into remission. But he said, the cancer was the storm, but the peace I found in the storm, that changed me permanently. Your 3 action steps. If you recognize any of these signs, step 1, journal tonight. What feels too small right now? Your answer is your roadmap. Step 2, write down what you lost in the last 12 months. Then ask, what did that loss protect me from? Step 3, if you have unexplainable peace right now despite hard circumstances, that is your sign. Don't dismiss it. Honor it. That's heaven saying, I'm already working. Your provision season has already begun. Chosen one. The question isn't when it will start. The question is, will you recognize it? Now let me show you the one thing that's blocking most people from receiving what heaven has already released. The one thing blocking your provision. and how to remove it in 48 hours. Now here's where everything shifts, because what I'm about to share might make you uncomfortable at first. But if you stay with me, this could be the breakthrough moment that changes everything. Twist. It's not your faith that's blocking provision. It's not your past. It's your posture. Let me show you exactly what I mean. The invisible barrier, proving versus receiving. Meet Rachel, 39 years old, entrepreneur from Nashville. She's been hustling for 8 years, working 70-hour weeks, launching products, posting on social media daily, barely breaking even. She came to me exhausted. I'm doing everything right. Why isn't God providing? I asked her one question that stopped her cold. Rachel, are you working for provision or receiving provision? She stared at me. What's the difference? Here's the difference, and this will shift everything for you. The proving posture, clenched fist. If I work hard enough, God will bless me. If I pray long enough, God will notice me. If I'm good enough, I'll deserve breakthrough. This is performance, not faith. Rachel was living Galatians 3:3. Having begun by the Spirit, are you now being perfected by the flesh? The receiving posture, open hand. God has already provided. I'm just aligning with it. My job is obedience, not outcomes. Provision is a gift, not a wage. This is Ephesians 2:8-9. By grace you have been saved through faith, not of works. Can you feel the difference in your own spirit right now? Which posture have you been in? Let me show you the 3 postures that keep people stuck. And I'll bet you recognize yourself in at least one of these. Deadly posture number 1, the striver. You believe God helps those who help themselves. By the way, that's not in the Bible. That's Ben Franklin. You can't rest because rest feels like laziness. You're exhausted, but can't stop because stopping feels like giving up. Meet David, 56, Phoenix, owned a landscaping business for 20 years, 6 days a week, 10-hour days, barely profitable. He was killing himself. I challenged him. Take one Sabbath, full 24 hours, no work, no emails. See what happens. He resisted for weeks. Too much to do. Too many obligations. Finally, out of sheer exhaustion, he tried it. That Sunday, his phone was off. He spent the day with his wife, went to church, actually rested. Monday morning, he turned his phone back on. There was a voicemail from a commercial developer, time-stamped Sunday at 2 p.m. David, we need someone for a major project. $180,000 contract. Call me back. The biggest contract of his 20-year career. David called me in tears. The call came in my rest, not in my hustle. All these years, I thought provision came from my effort, but it came when I finally stopped. Here's the truth. Chosen one, your striving isn't impressing heaven. It's blocking what heaven is trying to give you. God doesn't need your exhaustion. He needs your trust. Deadly posture. Number 2, the negotiator. You make deals with God. If you do X, I'll do Y. You're in transaction, not relationship. Meet Patricia, 61, retired teacher from Florida. She tithed 10% religiously for 30 years. Every single paycheck, never missed once. She came to me angry. I've been faithful. Where's my blessing? I gently asked her, Patricia, are you giving to get or giving because you're grateful? She got angry at first. Then her face crumpled. She started crying. Oh my God, she whispered. I've been treating God like a vending machine. Put in my tithe. Expect my blessing to drop out. I gave her radical advice that shocked her. Patricia, I want you to stop tithing for 2 months. Not because tithing is wrong, but because your heart needs to reset. You need to remember that God's love isn't something you purchase. She looked at me like I was crazy. But she did it. For 2 months, she gave nothing. Just sat with God, wrestled with her motives, realized how much of her faith was actually fear. Fear that if she didn't perform, God would abandon her. Month 3, she started giving again. But from love, not leverage. From worship, not worry. 4 months later, she got a letter from an attorney. A distant relative she barely knew had passed away and left her $47,000 in the will. Patricia called me sobbing. When I stopped demanding, heaven started delivering. All these years, my clenched fist was blocking what God's open hand was trying to give me. Here's the lesson. You can't earn what grace already purchased. Provision isn't a wage you deserve. It's a gift you receive. Deadly posture. Number 3, the waiter. You're passively waiting for God to do something. You've stopped moving because you're waiting on God. But James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. Meet Kevin, 48, unemployed for 9 months in Tampa. He said, I'm waiting for God's perfect job. I asked, are you applying anywhere? He said, only if I feel peace about it. Translation? He applied to 3 jobs in 9 months. I told him, Kevin, sometimes God gives you peace while you move, not before you move. Sometimes the door doesn't open until you walk toward it. I challenged him, apply to 5 jobs per week, even ones that don't feel perfect. He resisted. But what if I take the wrong one? I said, what if your obedience unlocks the right one? 3rd week, he applied to a company he almost skipped. It didn't seem spiritual enough, but something nudged him. He got hired. 2 years later, he's now senior manager, making $95,000. Kevin told me, God provided the job, but I had to move toward provision. Faith isn't passive waiting, it's active trust. The truth, provision requires partnership. God opens doors, but you have to walk through them. Pause right now. Ask yourself this. Am I trying to earn provision or align with provision? If you're exhausted, you're earning. If you're at peace, you're aligning. If you're anxious, you're earning. If you're obedient, you're aligning. If you're controlling, you're earning. If you're surrendering, you're aligning. See the difference? Now I'm going to give you 3 practical steps to shift your posture in the next 48 hours. Real people have used these and seen measurable breakthrough. Step 1, the gratitude audit, tonight. Here's what you do tonight before bed. Get a notebook, physical paper, not your phone. Title the page, Provision I'm Already Standing In. List 20 things. Not spiritual fluff, but tangible things. I have running water. My car started this morning. I ate today. Someone smiled at me. Why this works? Dr. Robert Emmons at UC Davis found that gratitude physically changes your brain's neural pathways. But more than science, Psalm 104 says, enter his gates with thanksgiving. You can't receive more provision while being blind to current provision. Sharon, 55, from Denver, $32,000 in debt. She did this exercise. By item number 11, she started crying. She said, I've been so focused on the $32K I didn't see the 200-month disability check I do have, the paid-off car, the friends who bring me groceries. I've been rich and didn't even know it. Something shifted in her spirit. 4 months later, she got a settlement from an old car accident she'd given up on, $28,000. She told me, gratitude didn't create the money. It positioned me to receive it. Step 2, the obedience test, within 48 hours. This one's harder, but it's where breakthrough happens. Ask God, what's one thing you've been asking me to do that I've been avoiding? It might be apologizing to someone, applying for that job, starting that project. ending that toxic relationship, giving away something you've been hoarding. Whatever pops into your head in the first 5 seconds, that's usually it. Then do it within 48 hours. Michael, 67, retired contractor from Ohio. Estranged from his son for 11 years over a business disagreement. He kept waiting for his son to apologize first. I challenged him. What if your obedience unlocks your provision? He hated that idea, but he called his son. Just said, "I'm sorry. I was wrong. I love you." His son wept on the phone. They reconciled. 3 weeks later, Michael got a call from an old client. Needed a project manager for a 6-month contract. $72,000. The client said, "I've been meaning to call you for months, but kept forgetting. Then your name popped into my head yesterday out of nowhere." Michael told me, "That call came 3 weeks after I obeyed. Coincidence? I don't think so." Biblical principle, 1 Samuel 15:22. To obey is better than sacrifice. Step 3. The seed test, this week. This is the scariest one and the most powerful. Take money you were going to spend on yourself, coffee, streaming service, eating out, $10, $20, $50, whatever feels like a stretch. Give it to someone who needs it more than you. Don't announce it. Don't expect payback. Just give. The twist. Give it before you see breakthrough, not after. Linda, 44, single mom, 2 kids in Georgia. She had $89 until payday, 5 days away. At Walmart, she saw an elderly woman counting coins for groceries, came up $6 short. Linda felt the nudge. Pay the $6. Her mind said, "You can't afford it." Her spirit said, "You can't afford not to." She paid the $6. The woman hugged her. "God sent you." Linda went home and sobbed. She'd just given away gas money. Next morning, her ex-husband, who hadn't paid child support in 9 months, texted, "I just got a bonus. I'm sending you $1,200 tomorrow." Linda said, "I sowed $6. I reaped $1,200. You do the math." Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Let me bring this home. 1. Tonight. Gratitude audit, 20 items. 2. Within 48 hours. 1 act of obedience. 3. This week. Sow a seed. These aren't religious rituals. These are posture shifts. From proving to receiving. From earning to aligning. From clenched fist to open hand. 3 months ago, Paul, a 58-year-old widower living on Social Security with $14 in his account, did these 3 steps. Last week, he sent me this. My estranged daughter and I reconciled after 8 years. She connected me with a consulting gig, $3,500 a month. I start Monday, but more than the money, I have my daughter back. That's the real provision. Chosen one, your provision season has already started. Now go receive it. Type "I receive" in the comments. That's your act of faith. Subscribe because heaven isn't finished speaking to you yet. God bless you, chosen one.